upset specials. It's the 12 seed Ole Miss and the 13 seed LaSalle Explorers getting ready for this one. Marshall Henderson, Ramon Galloway, the two leaders on their respective clubs. Galloway starting things off with a deep three ball as LaSalle took a 5-point lead early on. How about Tyrone Garland coming up with a steal? LaSalle, the quickness has always been key for them in this 2012-13 season. And Jarvis Summers finding Marshall Henderson. He needed just one three-pointer to break the SEC record. Well, he got one right there. Ole Miss up by 2. Tyrone Garland going for the layup and the foul in transition. LaSalle back on top. It's 25-20. Back to Galloway. He's averaged 20 points in the first 2 NCAA tournament games for LaSalle, playing their 3rd tournament game in the last 5 days. Galloway, another 3-ball, 19 in the first half for him, and the Explorers led 40-38 at halftime. But to match LaSalle's quickness, Ole Miss has the advantage down low, using the big men. Murphy Holloway for the bucket on the foul. He misses the free throw, gets it back, and gets the lay-in to go, and Ole Miss is back on top now. It's 56-55. Reginald Buckner finding Henderson. Brushes off of Buckner. 4 of 15 was Henderson from downtown. Never seen a shot he doesn't like. Here he's assisting the alley-oop to Holloway. 14 points and 13 rebounds for the big fella. Jarvis Summers to Marshall Henderson one more time. Bucket and the foul. He led Ole Miss with 21 points, and the Running Rebels are up by 3. Garland to Sam Mills. 3-pointer and the foul. You missed the free throw, though. Look at this. But again, hitting the offensive glass on the missed free throw, and it's Jarrell Wright with the putback. Tied at 69 with under 4 to play. It's Duran for 3. 19 in the ball game for him. LaSalle's on top by 1. It's a tie ball game with under 10 to go. Garland going to take it to the hoop, maneuvering around the Ole Miss defense, puts it up off the glass. 2-point LaSalle lead, and here comes Ole Miss. 2.5 on the clock, and Jarvis Summers from half court, not even close. LaSalle, the 13 seed, entering the Sweet 16 now, the farthest they've gone in the tourney since they played for the championship back in 1955, 76-74 final.
Coach, first time in 21 years LaSalle's been in the tournament. You've won 3 games, but nothing as dramatic as this one. Tell us about that last play and what was called.
Well, we just spread them out, 5 out against their zone, and our guards are so quick. You know, there's no one for the big guy to guard, and there was plenty of space, and no one's quicker than this guy. He's as quick as anyone in the country.
Well, Tyrone, you didn't start the game, but you certainly finished it. Tell us about the last play and when you thought you had the ball and the shot.
We wanted to go flat, and at the last minute, I knew I was going best to the right, so I told Ramon to switch, and I knew I probably had a shot if I drove the ball. I asked Rick early in the timeout, is that open? Once they swing, he said yes.
And what do you call that shot you just made?
That's the Southwest Philly floater, man. Shout out to my cousin Bern. Shout out to my mom, BOA, all y'all, man. We out here, Southwest.
The Southwest Philly floater. That's the difference of the game, 76-74.
That was a great play. Sweet 16.
Finished with 21 points, 8 for 21, and in the city.
And what do you call that shot you just made?
That's the Southwest Philly floater, man. Shout out to my cousin Bern. Shout out to my mom, BOA, all y'all, man. We out here, Southwest.
The Southwest Philly floater. That's the difference of the game, 76-74. Back to you, Mark.
I hear you put a little mustard on it. It's awesome.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It came down to the final possession between 12 seed Ole Miss, the SEC champs, and 13 seed LaSalle out of the first 4. Would it be Marshall Henderson, the land shark, or a new tournament hero, and a shot we've never heard of? Just over 3 to play in the game. LaSalle down to Tyrone Garland, knocking one down.
Great look, penetrate the zone, and knock down the 3.
Final minute, tied at 74. Marshall Henderson had 21 drives, misses, argues he was fouled, but LaSalle gets the ball back looking for the win, and Tyrone Garland is going to hit what he calls the Southwest Philly floater.
It figures that it would be a drive to the basket with somebody going and splitting the defense.
And having a cheesesteak. 17 points off the bench. Jarvis Summers the prayer over the backboard, and LaSalle, thanks to that man, advancing to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1955. First time they've won 3 games in a tournament since that year. LaSalle also did it at the free throw line, 72%, which isn't great, but Ole Miss below 50%. Let's check in first with the Rebels.
It was just not being aware, and you can't have that, when your life is on the line like that. And, they played tough, and they made some big shots. And we didn't, so, when you do things like that and you're not aware of, such, great shooters like that, they make you pay.
Before that play, we was in a timeout. I asked Tyreek, is the drive from the left wing open? He told me, yeah. And when the time was running down, it was flat. And I had a feeling that I could get the drive, so I told Ramon to switch. It wasn't even in the plans. I just told him to switch. And when Reek drove, like Coach always said, cut behind him. And when I cut, I just saw it open it, and I laid the ball in. We going, back to Cali.
All right, so Mr. Southwest Philly Floater is going to take things to Southwest California, and away we go. Wichita State will be the challenge for LaSalle now, and one of those teams is going to be in the Elite Eight. But Mateen, what was it that allowed LaSalle to not let the momentum get to them when Marshall Henderson and those guys were making their shots?
Well, it was a fun game, first of all. They went back and forth, big shots made. Ole Miss showed us today that they're better than just one player. I mean, they have some other good players on this team. But the way they defended that last play, I thought was wrong. They went in the zone. I think they showed the zone too early. They should have disguised it a little bit. Now, LaSalle had a perfect play drawn up. A dribble handoff, getting the guy to Troy Garland, going to his right, his strong hand. He did a really good job of getting in the lane and finishing the playoff. So it came down to the last play. I thought Ole Miss maybe should disguise the defense a little bit, but hats off to LaSalle for finding a way to win the game.
All right, and now it's LaSalle against the Wichita State team that knocked off Gonzaga. What do we think of this matchup here for a spot in the Elite Eight?
Well, first of all, we got to give you credit for picking LaSalle to be in this spot.
Oh.
Right? That's pretty impressive. That's for real. That's a first. But secondly,
I also picked Ole Miss to be in the game.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, okay. Well,
Even better.
More
Impressive. But Ramon Galloway is the guy that's the key because he is the man and the best player on the floor, in my opinion, in this game. He's been on a tear, averaging 21 points a game, 12 for 23 from the three-point line. Wichita State had an out-of-body experience with the way they shot the three against Gonzaga. Let's see if they can do it 2 games in a row.
I think Wichita State is more comfortable playing against a team that's big, bruising-type team like Gonzaga was, as opposed to a team like this that's so quick and athletic. LaSalle is 27 for 62 from the three-point line in this tournament. They're on fire as much as anybody in the entire tournament, and I think Wichita State is going to have trouble defending them, especially the guys on Wichita State that are bigger and stronger. How do you keep up with these guys?
Real quick, I know Temple lost, but is Philly going nuts about this?
Yeah, because LaSalle, 1955.
Right.
Absolutely. We know what Philly takes a lot of pride in the Big Five.
Sure thing. All right, our NCAA March Madness bracket break.